Pardon me, would you have any Grey Poupon? But of course. Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Joe. This is the Lost Cause Ranch. Man, I've been waiting to do the Grey Poupon thing for years. And that is right. Today we are going after this guy. B is for boss. B is for big boy. No, B is for ballin' on a budget. Today we fly out halfway across the country to drive the cheapest flying spur we could find. Let's see how this goes. Well, good morning, guys. It is just a shade before 5 o'clock, and we are at the airport, just getting ready to go on flight number 1. Well, it's all one flight, but we got 3 in total, 2 layovers. I mean, when you're buying yourself a budget luxury car like this, you need to save yourself $50 by adding a couple extra stops, right? But yeah, start off flight number 1, and we should be there in a short 12 hours. Right, so we made it to Connecticut, waiting in the Uber line. I'm a cheap ass, so we did the economical way. We went from Iowa to Chicago to Charlotte, yeah, because that makes sense. Connecticut's north, Charlotte's south. So we went to Charlotte, and then we flew up to Connecticut. So we are here in Bradley International Airport, and we should be at the car in just a few short minutes. This is always the nerve-wracking part of the trip. Got a little pit in your stomach because you don't know what the car is going to be like. It is the cheapest one of these we could find in the country. It supposedly runs and drives, but will it make it 1,000+ miles home? Is it going to be junk? Will it even start? Got a little knot in the stomach. Alright, so I've been to some sketchy places to pick cars up. This is kind of interesting. Guy who owns the place isn't here. I thought it was like a used car dealer. Apparently it's just like a wholesale junkyard operation. Why not get your first Bentley from a junkyard? Huh. So, going great. As you can see, there is just a bunch of cars and weeds. And I'm just walking around aimlessly, looking for a Continental Flying Spur. Well, there we go, boys and girls. We found her. Right there. We got a crusty B. I don't know about this deal. He's not here, so I guess we try and find some keys. Not quite sure. Glove box broke. But we got the Flying B floor mats. All right, we got the lights. Now if we can just find a key. Right there. Key. All right, so here goes nothing. I am 300% shocked that this thing started up. We got check engine light, but we knew that going in. It was obviously just running, so that's good. He was here. We had the temp up. Or no, it probably wasn't. It is just that warm out. I take that back. It was not just running. It is 100 degrees out here. So flew into Charlotte before Connecticut, and it is literally 30 degrees warmer in Connecticut than Charlotte. We got low tire pressure light, but it shows a malfunction, so maybe it has air in the tires. We're gonna do a quick little visual walk around. It's just got a system fault. Looks like it's got air in the tires. I mean, she's got some things, but it doesn't get cheap by not having some things. Some more things, a little more things, and that's a thing. Someone took a chunk out. I don't know how that works, but it's a Bentley. So here we are with our first Bentley for the shop. We didn't have enough British punishment with all those Land Rovers and the Lotuses around Lodi, Land Rovers, whatnot. So we went to the most reasonable place you could ever imagine to buy a Bentley at, and we did it. There she is. Let's start the journey home. And usually within the first like 5 miles of driving a car, you can tell which way the trip is going to go, whether it's good or bad. We've done this enough. 5 miles will give you a good indication of if it's going to be a white knuckle ride home because the thing's a pile of junk, or if it's going to be decent. Hope for the latter. You see that? Kind of hard to see. Let me see if we'll flip it upside down. See that? We even have 3/4 of a tank of gas in the Bentley. We're gonna go places. We are gonna go places. Oh, yeah, we definitely need the cooled seat on. Oh, it's got an engine start stop button. Why'd I use the key? This thing's fancy. Yeah, it always makes me happy when this happens, when we buy a car. It happened with the Defender, it's happened before with other things. But a few minutes into the trip home, had a younger guy that flew to catch up to the Bentley, drove around, circled around it on the highway, took some video with his camera, and just had a big smile on his face seeing it. And that is how you know you're buying the right cars. That just reminds me of a younger me, because that was me 10, 15, and 20 years ago, just excited to see a cool car on the road, to see it in the flesh, to see it being driven, and he just had the biggest smile on his face. And I'm glad that this Bentley that was cheaper than a new Jetta could do that for someone. That's why we're in the business we're in. We buy the cars we buy because they make people happy, and that makes me happy. So obviously it's nighttime now. We're here at our first stop. We made it to Rochester, New York. Got the Bentley there. She's doing well. And we are at the Microtel. And if you buy yourself a budget Bentley, gotta get yourself a budget hotel room. $50 a night. Maybe you can rent it by the hour. I don't know. Should be interesting. Hopefully this thing is still here in the morning. Then we got that stain there, whatever went on there, and then I just got out of the shower. But in here, kind of afraid to touch this. I don't know what is going on there. This is one of the finer establishments I've been at. Pulled the sheets back, got some potato chips. All right, we made it through the night. After being in there, that was a little more sketchy than the drive home. But I've stayed in worse places, and the ceiling did not fall on me while taking a shower. Fun fact, that did actually happen as a kid in some sketchy motel. Oh, look, it's time to wake up. But with even better news, it appears we still have a Bentley. It didn't go missing. So we are in Rochester, New York. We might go check out Niagara Falls since we're in the area. We're not too far from Buffalo. So that is next stop on the trip. Look at B. That's cool. This thing has massaging rear seats as well. But I have yet to find some dirty socks. I have yet to find any cup holders up front. Not supposed to have those. We're gonna do a cold start up 2006 Bentley Continental Flying Spur W12. Yeah, I was just messing with you. These things aren't supposed to be loud. Kind of a luxury cruiser, drive you around type of deal. So I'm kind of bummed out. I picked this $52 hotel because it said it had a free continental breakfast. Got a Bentley Continental, wanted a continental breakfast, no free breakfast. So I'll have to find a different breakfast to eat in the Continental. Toyota says lemon on it. Is it a lemon or are they named lemon? It's kind of a cool setup. Looks like it doesn't have the right tire on it. It doesn't have the right a lot of stuff. What happened? The other side says lime. To the Niagara Falls. I've always wanted to see these since I was a little kid, you know, barrel over, riding it out. But I thought they'd be bigger than this. They were much more impressive on TV. I could even ride the barrel over these. So we're just south of Buffalo, and we are 470.8 miles into the trip, and we got the Autel out. It's had a check engine light the entire time, and I should just leave Sleeping Dogs Lie and not mess with it because it's running all right. But being we bothered bringing the scan tool, we might as well look, clear it out, see what happens. Let's do that. A little hard to see with the glare. I don't know what I can do about that. That help? Not really. Alright, we'll do it like this. Now you get to see a reflection of me looking at this. But we got 4 in the engine module, a couple in display control, air conditioning, central electronics, 2 in engine module 2. Quite a bit in the dashboard and gateway, and then some various other modules. All we are going to worry about right now is the ECM1 and ECM2. The rest of those we're just going to clear out, and then after the trip we'll do a good once over on this thing and see what all is wrong with the cheapest clean title Flying Spur we could find, and we'll see what pops back up. We're just kind of going to disregard those 27 codes in the gateway. A lot of them are probably voltage related. Turbo supercharger wastegate solenoid A, CAD efficiency, incorrect key, and check ECM2 cat code. So a couple cat codes. So now we got nothing in 2, and we'll go through and do the quick erase, which is going to dump every module here. So right now we're erasing module 1. We have no more check engine light. I'm going to miss that. Ben, my buddy. for a while. We'll see if those make any difference on the terrible fuel mileage this thing's been getting. I don't know what it's supposed to get. Let me look real quick. But we are at 16 miles to the gallon right now. I just feel that it should be better than that. So while this is erasing the million codes, we'll do flying. We'll do 2006 Flying Spur. You know, because when you buy a Bentley, you're concerned about fuel cost. Okay, I guess it's right. 11 in the city, 18 on the highway. Ouch. Good thing it's not like $4 a gallon right now. Whew. So the last remaining code that would not clear out active static is turbocharger wastegate solenoid A. So it must have an electrical fault. This is really killing my cannonball average here. I had it all the way up to 60 miles an hour. Not in the Bentley, it's not. Smooth riding only. All that ordeal for a couple dump trucks dumping some dirt. It's too bad people don't know how to operate traffic scenarios in the United States. And they think a zipper merge is an asshole move. That looks like about the condition of something I'd buy. Just needs a little love. A lot of love. So this 26-foot super mover U-Haul says enhanced aerodynamics. I'm not seeing it. It's a big square with a big square front end. In developing news on the Bentley, we now have a random parking brake warning. Parking brake, not on. That just randomly popped up while cruising down the road. And interestingly enough, it looks like that little Breitling clock stopped at the same time. So we are just shy of 900 miles into the trip, outside of parking brake failure, which is the most odd thing that the clock was tied to that. So something electrical. We'll figure that out later. But other than that, this thing's been a gem. For our first Bentley, I'm impressed. Nearly 100,000 miles, 15 years old, sight unseen. Bought it from essentially a junkyard, and it is 900 miles into a 1,200 mile trip. Ticking along, chewing some gas up, spitting it out the tailpipes, I'm sure. But I'm pleased. I'm pleased. And the neat thing about instantly taking a road trip across the country with a car you purchased, you learn a lot about it right away. You learn what you like, what you don't like. And I happen to love these seats. These are comfortable. Of that 900 miles, I've done 600 miles today so far. What that equates to is about 9 hours of driving so far today. And that's pretty much straight, with a little break at Niagara Falls and then a couple gas station stops to fill this thirsty thing up. But I'm comfortable. For as much as these are a car that are like a Rolls Royce where you want to be driven around in, and the Bentley is also made to drive. I know this because we now own one, and this is the third one I've ever driven, so consider me an expert in the field. But yeah, no, this thing's great. That, and you get a look at all the nice leather work in here. A leather headliner. That is one of the nicest features any car can have. You can argue with me on that, but you won't change my mind. That is fantastic. Who would have thought? Wrap your headliner in leather, everyone. Even if it's cheap leather. No, this is... But Bentley does do nice leather work. The British are known for that. They're not known for their electronics. Most of the underpinnings are German, and most of it's Volkswagen. That is my only complaint, having been around a lot of Volkswagens. I almost feel like I'm in my Touareg when I look at buttons and shifter. But I understand cost savings. When you have a $200,000+ car, you got to cut corners somewhere. This thing will clip off some triple-digit speeds with ease. Not that I did that, but it does do it, so I'm told, and it makes a road trip fun. This right here has been the bane of my existence on this trip. And I'm not gonna dog anyone because I understand they got a job to do, but man, more than ever I've ran into semis passing someone else on the right lane very, very slowly. We're at about a mile later and the RV finally hit the brakes so the semi could get by. Thumbs up, RV guy. Man, I'm kind of a pig. Got my water and stuff over there. Coffee cup over here. No cup holders. Bentley, what are you doing? Well, there we made it back to the Lost Cause Ranch. The Bentley made it. It did well, especially for how cheap it was. And with that said, I'm gonna go to bed. So we have successfully made it back to the shop with the cheapest Bentley we could find in the country. But yeah, the next video on this guy will go through and list out everything that is wrong with this cosmetically and mechanically and what it's going to take to repair it correctly and whether or not we're going to do that. With that being said, if you want to see more on that Bentley and some of the other neat stuff we have going on in the shop around here, subscribe down below, click the red button. You'll get updated. Do the bell thing too, and then it'll notify you. And you'll get to see all the fun stuff we do. And if you enjoyed this video, give us a like and let me know what you think of that cheap Bentley. Less than the price of a new Volkswagen Jetta. Both VW products. This one's just a tiny bit better than the Jetta, in my opinion. But anyways, hope you guys have a good night. Catch you on the next one.